Hey, call to the booth. Week 5. Harrison. What's up, baby? You good? How was your weekend, man?
Everything's good, man. I'm back in LA. Excited to get to week 5. A lot to discuss. Emmanuel Sanders on the show. Going to take a quick look at DFS. But speaking of Emmanuel Sanders, you and I talked about this before the show. It looks like you've been pulling out some fire gear throughout the course of our little football podcast show.
All Balenciaga. Everything I had on prior to today been Balenciaga. Today we in, you know what I'm saying, YG, we in at 400 today. Shout out my dog YG. But all Balenciaga before today, if you ain't know.
I'm not mad at it. You know, I want to talk about this with Emmanuel. When he was overcoming his Achilles injury, I seen on his IG, man had a walking boot that had Fendi logos on it.
Yeah, man. I'm going to say I take credit for that, man. Because, look, I got to Denver, right? I was swaggy lead, you know, coming with the fits, the ice, everything. I put my whole team. We turned to the best dressed team in the NFL, man. I got a lot to do with that, too. So, hey, shout out my dog E. He going to come on the show. We going to talk about it. We going to ask him where he got his swag from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ask him about it.
Speaking of Denver, I know they play the Patriots this weekend, so that is a matchup of two of your former teams. Give our listeners a little drop about what we're doing for them.
Man, we're going to do a little, you know, a signed jersey giveaway, man. Whoever subscribe, rate, and review, you know what I'm saying? Whoever win the subscribe, rate, and review competition, you know what I'm saying? We're going to give a signed jersey, one for Patriots fans, one for the Broncos fans. You know, we got to do something, man. It's my two former teams, two of my favorite teams in the NFL playing on Thursday, man. We got to do something for the fans, right?
Yeah, no, that game should be a lot of fun on Sunday. So we got the subscribe, rate, review contest. You have to email us at calltothebooth@gmail.com. That's subscribe, rate, review. Take a screenshot of it and then email us at calltothebooth@gmail. Then we will decide who will pick. Obviously, if you throw in a question, throw in a score prediction for that game, you're going to raise your chances at being chosen to get a jersey from Aqib. So call to the booth at Gmail.
Jersey, baby.
There you go. Take a screenshot of subscribing, rating, and reviewing. Send an email to calltothebooth@gmail. And then throw in a fantasy question, maybe throw in a score prediction, and hopefully you will get that jersey. We have a lot to discuss. I want to talk about that Bill O'Brien situation in Texas, or what was the Bill O'Brien situation in Houston. But first, let's get into your power rankings. Not too much of a shift in the power rankings itself, except for the Buffalo Bills jumping from number 5 to number 4 over Tampa Bay. Explain your decision.
And then, you know, the Bucs got down early. They had to fight back. It was a hell of a fight back, man. I love watching Tommy play like that. But it was a hell of a fight back, you know, but just because Buffalo dominated the whole game, man, you know, and they undefeated. We rewarding the undefeated teams, man. We'll put the undefeated before the one-loss team, and we'll go like that, man. But, you know.
Next 2 weeks, they play the Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. 2-0,
yes, sir.
1-0, or 0-2.
Whew. I like Buffalo, but I like the Chiefs, too. I give them a loss versus the Chiefs, a win against the Titans.
Okay.
1-1.
Quick,
1-1.
Another quick one. Do they win the AFC East? Yes or no?
Yeah, they win the AFC East, man. This COVID situation, the Patriots had a chance last night. But that COVID, we're going to talk about that, though. But that COVID got in the way, you know what I'm saying? With Cam Newton there, I feel like they could have did something, but the Bills off to a super hot start, man. I love that defense, man. I love that quarterback, man. I'm gonna give him the AFC East.
Real quick, and shout out to my younger brother Hamilton. Even though we're both from New York, I'm a Giants fan. This guy is a Bills fan. You want to know his reason?
He's from New York.
Yeah, he says they're the only team that plays in New York. Because the Giants and the Jets, they play in New Jersey.
They play in Jersey.
So therefore, the Bills, to him, are New York's only team. That's a debate for... All right, before we get to our Emmanuel Sanders interview, Aqib, we got to talk about this. It's our press report. Bill O'Brien, no longer the head coach for the Houston Texans. Correction. Bill O'Brien, no longer the head coach and general manager of the Houston Texans. Your first reaction?
Surprising, man. You know, I think what they won the division, the last 4 years or some shit like that. Something like that. He won the division himself 4 times. I mean, he stay in the playoffs, man. I thought with coaches like that, when they have, when they struggle a little bit, like I said before, I thought their leash was longer. But it got to be something internal, man. It got to be something internal where they just need a new voice in there, man. They need a new voice. They need a new decision maker in there. So, I don't know, man. I called Robe this morning. He like, man, I don't know. I'm just trying to ball. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's super surprising is the word to me. I don't know if I would have fired him just yet.
I want to talk about the general manager aspect of the decision making too. But in terms of the team on the field, what's realistic now with Romeo Crennel hopping in as the interim coach? What's a realistic record? What's a realistic just overall performance from the team? Because also too, and we didn't touch on this just yet, but we have in previous shows, their schedule was crazy hard to start the year. So how do you factor all that in with now Romeo Crennel being interim head coach?
And I think a new voice, I think a reset, I think that'll help them, man. Yeah, they need something. They need some type of spark. Maybe that's the spark. Maybe it's some internal stuff. Deshaun and head coach. Maybe it was something going on that they doing a good job not letting out like that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that new voice, man, to get them to 8-9 wins. They got 4 losses already. 0-4. 0-4, not that bad, man. I mean, you still got 12 games left, man. So you get you a winning record out of these 12 games, and you got a chance to be one of those 7 teams. So hopefully that new voice, man. Hopefully that new voice help them out and light a fire under their ass, man. Cause my dog over there, Robe over there, man. I want him to be good, baby. I want to see him in the playoffs, man. I want to see him strapping some guys, following some guys around in the playoffs. So man, hey, we'll see.
We'll touch on one of the guys there as well, too, Brandon Cooks. We'll save him for our fantasy football show. Real quick, I know you're a podcaster now. You're a member of the media, but you never know. You could have another role. So I would love if you played general manager or new general manager of the Houston Texans. Give me like 3 or 4 steps that they would have to do. Let me paint the picture for the audience. They're in cap hell. They're $11 million over the cap in 2021. They don't have a pick until the 3rd round in 2021, thanks to and these situations coming from the Larry Tunsil trade. They only got David Johnson and a 4th round pick for DeAndre Hopkins. With all of that, and they also have the highest salary cap in the entire league. Not a good stat if you have one of the worst record or tied for the worst record in the league. With that being said, with all the stars on their roster and where they are at the cap, where they are as a team in terms of their record, give me 3 things that you would do if you were in charge as a general manager of the Houston Texans.
Definitely trade some big names and get some draft picks.
Name one big name that you're willing to trade.
One big name that I have to trade and get some draft picks. Man, I gotta go with my dog. My dog B Cooks, man. I gotta, it's big cash there. The production ain't really there. That's my dog. But if I'm putting my GM hat on, I got to trade my dog, B Cooks. You know what I'm saying? Put him in a better position. You go succeed over here, bro. And let me get some draft picks for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that first. I'm going to get some linemen, man. I'm going to find a way. I know we already over the cap and everything, but I'm going to find a way to get me a big-time guard or a right tackle, somebody to put with Tunsil, man. I'm going to shape that O-line. Number 2, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shape that O-line.
Romeo Crennel is now the oldest head coach in the NFL. One would assume that he's not coming back next year, even if he plays well, just because of that being under those parameters. Real quick, before we go to the Emmanuel Sanders interview, name the one key adjective that the next head coach of the Houston Texans needs to have. One key adjective.
Confidence. Confidence. That's what the next head coach need to have. He need to come in there and he need to just know that when I come in the room, we gonna do this. He just need to be super confident, and that need to breathe throughout the team, man. And Eric Bieniemy, he the guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Find a way. That'll be, if I had a 4th thing, or make it my 3rd thing on my GM hat. Go get Eric Bieniemy. Go get him, link him with Deshaun, and then watch that offense. Watch how that offense moved in. So go get EB, get some draft picks, Get a couple old linemen to put with Tunsil. And them the three things you need to do right there, man. You'll be just fine next year. They go get EB, they'll be just fine next year.
Hey, listen, if they can get him now, I'm sure that'd be a great move. But yeah, that if you could put him with Mahomes, offensive coordinator, not only is he innovative, but he also comes in with intel on maybe the best team in the NFL that's in your conference.
So that'd be a major move if they was
Hey, Aqib, hey, stick to this podcasting thing. But I know, hey, listen, but that was
GM hat.
I like that.
GM hat, baby.
All right. All right, we'll be right back with more Cult to the Booth with our interview with Emmanuel Sanders.